Inclination. Not long after, a wind-tearing sound, lifting according to the most sure thunder, instantly appear in front of everyone. For a moment everyone looked back and saw him return. The two eyes immediately lit up. There is a waiting ray inside. I don't know if he can finally bring back the magic. Or not. Same at that time. People dance outside for a long time. Also look closely at him. One side stopping wait. Not to exceed everyone's expectations. Most likely in the hand appeared. The two sexes just scan their eyes and look at everyone. I laughed and said, "Guess what? Which ring is Dawn in now?" This word just came out. People are immediately confused, but very quickly react. This is not talking. He has already caught the spirit of knitting in his hands. So, this news is really for people to regain their spirit. Human concussion. The woman who saw this scene sighed a little. He looked at her and nodded. The boy acted extravagantly. But the critical moment, it never made people seven. If two armies fight, he stole this medicine from him. It can be heavy. It's better than winning 100 games. The white man nodded and laughed. Look out before. Choose this person to restrain the heavenly government, not choosing the wrong person. In this world, young people, only you can do this too. But very quickly, the white man immediately saw a strange body image. Point that way. To the lonely she said, "Old Marshal, you see what that place is?" In the direction he pointed. Lonely girl battle angel scene. He is the best player in Team 5 of the strangers. The face suddenly stopped. In my heart for an hour. This boy is not an oil lamp. He did not violate his ban. Mr. Fang. What are you pointing at? The old man is old, so his eyes are not bright anymore. She's a little shy. Pretend to be naive. You can't laugh at the audience. The surgeon shook his head. I can't believe you're alone. Again for being lost. That's good, anyway. Everyone because the emperor works to protect the danger. Natural peanuts don't pay attention to details. That. The white man stroked his beard and laughed. Ha ha ha, nothing. Just saw a very strange animal that wanted to show. The marshal looked. But if the marshal's eyes weren't good, then stop it. The lone warrior dodged his eyes and turned away. I can't help but feel a little embarrassed. Things done for personal love can no longer be done. Jia-san's school wins staring most certainly. Smiling, nodding, he looked at the sky and said, "Ha ha. Hong Fu master. Watch out for the first game. The government has lost a country." But the Emperor of Heaven did not pay much attention. The cold face couldn't answer. The impermanent leader laughed for an hour. He said that winning is a common thing for soldiers. It's not worth it. Take a deep look at him. Master Jia-san looked back, laughing for an hour. Let's see if the leader has a plan soon. I think it must be completely prepared. Hey ha 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 for children only. Couldn't get to the table. It made the Prime Minister laugh again. It's just dealing with a monkey. Still can't just say it's done. Impermanent low voice. In his eyes flashed a confident ray. Jia-san's school win not wrong nod. The opposite. Look at the people inside who are excited. Face with a slight sob shaking his head. See, these green kids are overjoyed too soon. Jia Chongfeng is a smart person. Outside smiling face, but in my heart I can't help but shake my head. These mortals are one for the time being. It's just blurry eyes. But most likely what the heart is thinking. Don't let him get too excited. Another dimension. It is most likely that God's people are in the world. Just come out laughing. Look carefully, Lao Tzu has returned. I see. Everyone nods together. Fetishized facial agitation shout out. The corners of my mouth lift up the sinister curve. Most likely, one hand put the porcelain vase inside, sweeping my eyes at everyone well. That's enough. Everybody disperse. Immediately go find but knitting medicine and other key games. We still have to make this victory our goal. People unconsciously stagnate together. Quick face down. Thank God for not being cruel. You probably want to fuck yourself, right? In the eyes unconsciously condense, the worst points to him. His face was filled with pain, and he thanked heaven. It is not worth being a brother. The same trouble with you. You don't trust me like that. I can do something like this on my own. I am someone like that. Thank heaven, Yang said coldly. Because of the trouble with you. That's why your dignity is more clear. What I said, everyone laughed loudly. See this situation. Most likely, his face suddenly serious. Pretend to be angry. You know I really lost you. Get out of here. 8 qualities of Lin Dan to stay where you are and rest assured. Most likely, he shrugged his shoulders casually. If you didn't trust Lao Tzu like that, the old man will swallow it up for you to see. Even though this Sao Lin Dan was also stolen by Lao Tzu. You have the guts to steal one. Let me see it. Thank you, Thien Duong Bu Lip. I put the stone down the well, you see. This kid's personality, I fucking understand. Sneaking in your pockets isn't the time to switch to public robbery. Even though Sao in the hands of the officials. Don't take it back, I can do it. Look at the two of you arguing. But the air is so harmonious. Everyone is like a family. Laughing together without constraint. It's like being back, about happy days on thousands of animals sunvang. But all this to make the most of the world. At least with him here, the chances of winning are higher. But there is a saying to destroy the great way. Or the celestial love. They don't think they can win. After a laugh. Thank God for thinking for a moment. Look at the most serious. Brother Trao. You are the strongest force here. This piece of shit is yours to take back. That is why I let you use it. Waiting for your strength to rise. Our chances of winning will be more than partial. When everyone heard it, they suddenly nodded. This word is not wrong. God is always loved by others. So it's still better to use it sometimes. But most likely, he shook his head. Can't refute. Thank you, do you really think? Hong Fu Than Thien holds this 8 qualities of Lin Dan. Not used for nearly 10 days. Just keeping my promise to get it back. Thank God. On the one hand, I don't understand. Waiting for him to explain again. Probably laughing for an hour. His eyes sparkled because he did not dare. This word just came out. Everyone was immediately amazed to see him. They don't understand this word a little bit. Look at everyone's skepticism. Most probably keep talking. I think it takes a lot of time to prepare the 8 pieces. If the enemy attacks now, if there is a little bit of distraction, the power will be scattered. They're even seriously injured. So before the 2 sides split, Ra won the final defeat. Anyone who has knitted medicine will not dare to arbitrarily cultivate. This word just came out. When people wake up, that's what Ra is. I can't help but look at the most obvious. More and more adoration. My face is a little hard to see. If that's true, then maybe we won't be able to resist either. For example, or use it. Until then, afraid of being attacked by the enemy. Create the cataclysm of destruction. Hear this word. Probably laughing for an hour. Unfortunately, they think a lot. The government still has to rely on them to restrain the mind. Even if they can find the medicine, he can come and steal at any time. Think about it, take a deep breath. It is better to bring them back quickly. Suddenly now, a shout goes to the ears, everyone says, "Tell the princes. We have discovered the whereabouts of the second wicker." Where people rush to ask the opposite. 50 miles outside the bloodline. The man holding the power in his face became agitated. That vase just fell right into the middle of the crowd. Grade BA. We didn't dare to take action, so we rushed back to report it. Everyone took a sip of cold air at the same time. He looked at the Kier seriously. Blood asphyxiation. How much quantity? Well, my poor eye is probably over 30,000. The man was a little embarrassed and said, "This word just came out. People's faces are immediately unsightly. 3,000 blood is a lot. Even if 10 magic spells join hands, it's not up there either. Only by soldiers like them. How can you?" But right now, the worst of them suddenly spoke up. "Take the lead first." Long onion facial pattern urgently worried. "Ask why, brother. You have a way of coping." Probably the coldest head shake. Quietly laughing out loud. "Ha ha ha. Go ahead and count 320 for battles for the second knitting. As soon as I finished speaking, I should have taken the lead. People are also quickly following behind. Can say, their only hope right now is that you can only listen to what he says." In the blink of an eye, there was no longer a shadow. People have started to march to the killing fields. Not long after, most people will lead the way. Command everyone to go and search for things. So the speed is relatively slow. But he is not hot. Just follow in their footsteps. Slowly move forward. Looking for a while. Most likely, he glanced at the people who asked how they were doing. "Did you find anything?" Long can hear the words. Suddenly the doctor shook his head or spoke track butler. "Not now. We should hurry and find the 8-tiered Linsan." "That's right. Now we're wasting time on this road." Remember to let the Holy Spirit find you. It's not. He hasn't finished yet. Most likely the world interrupted. You should search carefully. Not Sao. Something like jerking. The god of war is determined to win. I finally found a job. It means too much. What's important now is to find the game and the key. Compared to being chased everywhere by Hong Fu Than Thien, bring some people back. Reducing the burden is the most important thing. Right now. Suddenly, there was a scream of excitement. Father, I found a key. She holds the red key in her hand. Put it in front of the best. Look at this thing. Probably most people can't help but laugh. This is the negative attribute key of fire-shaped archetypes. Just find the positive attribute key and the location of the fire arch. It's possible to bring the dead back. Obviously in this war. Let's not talk about useless people with no real power. Zero concentration as incense condenser. Even the 6 longest phoenix are the people who tend to be. It only works a little in your eyes. So you have to get them back quickly. Avoid getting in the way. Until then he can develop the body. Take the final victory. Think about here. He looked towards the likes of stopping the incense of praise agitation. Good fish, you have succeeded. To be praised by him and stop the fragrance of silent joy. After all, she wasn't useless once. Find what you need. That's right now. Long onion in the back. Then he interrupted her excitement. Why Tian miss? If you can find a wicker, the better. Until then, it's no longer a question of merit. It's about marvels for our 3 great families. Stop hearing this word. The cold said yes. I'm not looking for a stop. That's what you want. We're just looking for what the CAs want. Long March heard this word. Reluctant to shake your head to stop the girl. You are wrong. With the power of your brother, you might want to find these keys. Only those who are afraid of death. I want to leave this place quickly. Pay attention to that. Master is like track brother. The more he wants to find a treasure, the better. That's right, Brother Trow. Probably the most. It's cold to look at. Be less of a worm in your stomach. Integration. It was the Lord who guessed his thoughts. But right now, you can't let others feel afraid. Avoid war. If you're honest, they're a burden. Will affect the air between different houses. I think it is most likely that I am reluctant to say this. Not wrong either. The key may be more important than the key. Long chuckled when he heard it. On the contrary, it's a dead end. A little lost said. I thought that. I think I found what you want the most. Don't worry, this key. Maybe there's a rush to explain. He hasn't finished yet. Suddenly a rustling wind came. Quick hand grab it. Until you open your hand. Looking back at a neat golden key. In your hands. This is the key to the negative properties of the mirror. After all, this is the one who made a big deal. I really understand why. Real. It's time to look back on the direction the key came. I can only see the blue eyes standing there. At this moment, he suddenly can't speak. I don't know how to tell her. She looked coldly at him. Finally pulled the fisherman's hand away. Let's find another key. But the CA must have said he didn't want these. This guy is always on the lookout. Don't listen to him. The city is as cold as before. An hour of cold. Watch the two girls leave. I'm a little bit alarmed in the most compassionate way. To live a life again. I can't believe that the only person who knows is these two girls. A person who trusts him unconditionally. It gives him the feeling that he doesn't have to calculate anything. When you're next to me, there's one who finds it harder to talk. Her bow went through. The most peaceful feeling that two people have ever experienced. But he's also the one he doesn't want to face the most. This feeling is a bit unspeakable. The opposite is the long march. He still doesn't understand. On the one hand, watching two people disappear strangely said. Strange. First off, I don't understand the misunderstanding. And you too. As the owner is a hero. Why would anyone find these things quickly? Haha, you ask me who I know. Most likely, a cold laugh for an hour. His work style before. It's always been a lonely hybrid. Few AI can really understand his mind. But this time it's different. The two women at the same time saw the thoughts in his heart. Is not to say. This is what people call a soulmate. Really very fast, he denied that the first Dharma was as meaningless as he had been. Do you deserve to have a soulmate? For someone who's been alone all his life. This feeling is so new. Completely NDTO at all. Just like that, they slow down and search. We finally got to the murder scene. This way they collect 10, not less. I have 10 keys. Just wait until you find the door and you can open it. In front of them, the present is the base of wonder. Blood close. In that red swamp. It never ceases to smell of fresh blood. To make the bugs rise to a bout of nausea. But right now, there's no blood in it. Long Onion Van strangely looked at the suspicious informant said. There is no wonder blood. You have seen the blood. And Kier knitting God jar. Really in this place. That's right, Mr. Long, I dare not deceive you. At that time, there were literally thousands of bloodsuckers in this place. And it's not far away. The lady looked for a moment, is to find that dispenser right away. The man pointed forward in a hurry. I looked at him as if he was not lying. Most likely, ordered to continue. But I haven't taken a few steps yet. Everyone stopped. The body can't help but shiver. Look at the empty land. On a cliff. The arrogant emperor stood there. Look at the most ridiculous and evil. It's slow. My son has been waiting here for hours. The first time winning Lindon. Suppose you win a country. This is the second time I've started, ha ha ha. Looking at the person in front of everyone is terrifying. Why did this guy show up here again? Maybe the second pill fell into his hands. Maybe there's a traitor with them. If not, he might as well show up in this place. I can guess their minds. Most probably I can't help but laugh for an hour. The surgeon shook his head. The tent speaks out. Okay, you don't have to speculate. I told him the news. What is you? Why is everyone so scared to look at you? God's voice was cold for an hour. Unhappy artist rolled his eyes, thank heaven. He went through life and death together. Although I don't trust him very much, but I still understand his personality. I laughed and sighed at this moment. Listen to him first. He is the strongest here. If he wants, just throw the potion straight through. What's so complicated? You so this is. The heavens are often dazed or voiced. He hasn't finished yet. The lost high on one side laughed casually. Maybe the police just want to warn us. They now suspect each other. He will only be on my side. We fall into the enemy's trap. The details will be told later. Now you're still allies, fighting together. This word just came out. The people immediately bowed their heads in shame. Just look at a young boy who has emerged. You can also understand the deception here. They don't see through. When they think about it, they can't help but complain. The current lost. It's not just a nasty butler, as surely as the most sly of all. But the owner has not taken over the position of the owner. There is also such knowledge. It is not the fifth tiger. You can be alone for 5 years. If you get lost like that, waking up is just a matter of getting up early. There must be lies in this. Take a breath in your eyes. Divergence customs for side observation. Looking at the most sure, he whispered. This place is a paradise. It's easy to set a trap. We have to be very careful. The softest nod is to say casually. So according to who they're going to ambush. The front of the heavy army to attack the two sides. There is an ambush behind. Take a deep breath. High-tit game. They seem to have seen the enemy's plan. Smiling and nodding. The most obvious is a satisfied smile. Good boy. Follow that lonely old man. Of course I learned a lot. That doesn't make me 7. Then lead them out from behind. Just let me deal with it. As soon as he finished, he walked straight ahead. Not too many reactions in the eyes. Hai suddenly shivered, slightly nodding in response. The people behind me saw this scene. Ask him what he wants to do. It's just like a dragon, and people are stunned. I just wanted to move forward and get lost and hold up my hand. On the one hand, seriously, you guys, listen to me in command. If we don't fear that we will be defeated. This word just came out. People are so deeply unconscious. Take a look at him. There's a little contempt. I don't know which family's disciples. I can't help but laugh. A young boy with no blood on his head. Dare to dance our feet in front of us. See herring silently bite the obnoxious lips. Now with his calendar. Then we cannot make the gods of the 7 worlds. Can be trusted. If so, the most evil plan will surely fail. He was a little nervous to see them. But I can't say a word to convince you. Because he said no. Suddenly right now. Suddenly a loud sound came out. This decision was made by the photometer sow. Can't help but startle. The sea looks up at the place where the sound is coming from. He looked coldly at him again. Not in a hurry to nod. I'm just kidding, this guy is one of the 6 most famous. How dare he hide it? Or maybe you just want to follow his instructions. People will also listen in part. Receive a confirmation. Prone to contemplation. I looked at the back of the dog for a long time. Finally slowly speak up. If so, what do you want me to do? Adorable 325 control beast. The words of the Lord have come out. People are immediately terrified. Her way. He is the owner of one of the 7 kingdoms. But listen to the leader of a boy. My mouth smells of milk and has not experienced this life. But she was determined to follow it. People have a little bit of a clue how to wrestle for a long time. On the one hand, they try to convince people. Finally agreed to obey. Another dimension. It is most likely to come in front of the Holy Spirit. The cold face said Prince Hongfu. If you say, this is the 2nd round of the battle for Lindan. Let me give you a hint as to where this place is. Ha ha ha. Don't tell others to suggest. Even if you put a bottle in front of him. It's not cool. But the demonic body of the butler track. My son has been deeply experienced. If you have the courage to find it yourself. Unconsciously frown. Hongfu Thien laughed out loud. I can see he's not trapped, let out a sigh. I don't know the location of the object. You can't use the map to get it. It's annoying. Think about here. Most likely, he shook his head and showed a sad smile. Then he put his hands back and said, Prince Hongfu, if you don't mean to, then let's see if we lose. In the 3rd round, we meet Apple. But he hasn't left yet. The noblest man in the world laughed and laughed. Track the butler. The Lord admits to your servant. If you want to go, no one can stop you. Including the prince as well. But it's easy for them to go. When he finished, he clapped his hands. People are hiding around here. Immediately rushed to gas to kill. Surrounded the working men of the provincial government. Over here. Team 5 is attacking right now. There are only 2 people in the world and they are evil. The lack of a noble character of the royal family is Lam Ful Feng. The most likely is the sound of relentless screaming, echoed on the 4 sides. Face a little pondering. Clearly so many people. Lead the team only strictly selling demons and Yuvu Sun. There is only one correct answer, as the Hai guessed that the boy was hiding on the way back. Waiting to kill them. Thank God for seeing this scene. To pat her on the shoulder, Van Hai lamented a sentence. The tiger is the 5th tiger in the universe. Of course there is a hand. The Lost Sea gave a nod. Excited in my heart. This is the first time he experienced the feeling of being a marshal. Can mobilize the disciples of the 3 strikers. But they listened to him. All because of the reputation of the worst. But he believes one day he'll have his own team of 5. Actually become a field marshal. The thought of this is that he's suddenly serious. Look at the people talking. Then everyone will listen to me. Your own family is the norm. Divided into 3 different teams: Sao Hoa Dance, the Sword Tower, potential long lead team. In addition to the long dance form sharp knife battle. Wait for the command to attack behind. The other 2 teams defend on either side. Let's not fight together. If you listen to my command, you can go. The cold-hearted man put it all in his eyes. Smiling for an hour. Trach Min's butler. All of his friends seem to be under threat. And then we're all huddled together. Dare not move. It will soon sink in my horse. That must be what you mean. Unconsciously frown, most likely laughing quietly for an hour. It's like not having any worries. Look at the expression of why. Suddenly, the city was a little uneasy. With the current situation. Why is it not urgent? He's a little confusing. At this time, the other side is changing. Suddenly, he screamed for an hour. Lifting according to his screams. The people who tend to establish. He broke the siege. Centaur over here, led by strictly selling demons and Yuvu-san. See this scene. Unconsciously stunned. I don't understand a bunch of idiots. If you go out and kill the 2 sides, it will definitely reveal a loophole. Let me kill them before I can turn back. But they don't think about it. Love is not what they imagine. Everyone is lost in the sea, but the back is killed. But 2 scenes are protected. They just stormed in and broke 2 guards. That's how the 2 guards move. Not to fight. As a result, the anomaly immediately arises. The 2 evil spirits reacted again. Not enough time for combined action. Like the running water of the 3 kingdoms. The cry of sorrow is relentless. The 2 of them looked at each other and looked at each other. The face is a little strange. I can't stop it. Hong Fu Than Thien. Look at a man killing in front of you. His face immediately sank, and he gritted his teeth in anger. There are 2 losers, so many people. You can even fight these people. Beaten up like this. All dignity is lost. What does he need them for anyway? But inside the ring of battle, the 2 men who are serious about selling demons look at their centaurs to be overturned. It's under siege right now. More and more people are dying. Face is unsightly. Not born in a hurry. Immediately give orders to the person next to you. Quickly send out a signal to stop them. Fuck it. 3 people are not dead and have no place to bury. Momo. Receive the signal. The forest is full of excitement. Take the centaur and jump out. Smiling face said. Finally, it is time for the Lord to show up. Fins catch fish in the net, so we don't leave an AI. But he hasn't finished yet. He was moved from the front to attack. The man who danced behind her surrounded and killed the centaurs he just brought. See this situation. Most probably I can't help laughing. Silently nodding his head. Polarity NT0. He fought such a beautiful battle. Probably the most popular of them. Towards Hong Fu Than Thien. Provoking Prince Hong Fu. I feel they want to go. It doesn't seem difficult. The face of the Holy Father is a little unsightly now. Difficulty taking a deep breath. reluctant to hold down. Looking at the most obvious, ha ha ha.